I'm not as big a Major League Baseball fan as I used to be, partly because my team, the Pirates, are on a 17-year losing streak. But when weather becomes part of the story, I do pay attention. So far this year, it's the lack of weather that's been the big story in the major leagues. You see, the first weather-related postponement of a Major League game this year didn't occur until April 23rd, more than 2.5 weeks into the season. Not since 1985, when the first rainout was on May 20th, had the season gone that far without weather causing a cancellation. Here's a look at the number of postponements in each of the last 10 years by this date, about a month into the season. The least was 5, the most 26, just 3 years ago when a cool and rainy April really messed up the schedule. For comparison, there have only been 2 postponements due to weather so far this year. Now, over the last 10 years, from 2000 to 2009, 363 regular season Major League games were postponed due to weather, so an average of around 35 per year. The fewest in any year was 29, the most 49. 7 playoff games have also been called due to the weather, not including that suspended World Series game involving the Phillies 2 years ago. Here's how the regular season postponements break down by month. Now, this doesn't show 2 in March and 3 in October, just in case you're checking my math. Historically, April has the most by far, averaging about a dozen a year. July and August have the least because in those months it's mostly passing thunderstorms, so you can usually play the game if you're willing to wait out rain delays. Now, this mini peak in September is related to tropical storms and hurricanes. For example, in September 2004, 16 games were either directly or indirectly postponed because of hurricanes Francis, Ivan, and Jean, or their soggy remnants. And the only 2 games canceled in the last decade in Houston's Minute Maid Park, which has a retractable roof, were in September 2008, as Hurricane Ike moved through East Texas. Here's how the last 10 years of postponements break down geographically. And by far, the Northeast has the most, with the Pirates, Phillies, Orioles, Mets, Yankees, and Red Sox all with between 25 and 35. And many of these were early in the season. For example, 18 of Boston's 33 were in the month of April. Now, here's the totals for the Midwest. Not as many postponements as in the Northeast, between 15 and 25 for the Indians, Tigers, and both Chicago teams. In the Southeast, the numbers for the Braves and Marlins may not be as high as you expect, given the reputation for thunderstorms, but as I mentioned before, it's a matter of waiting out rain delays. And despite playing indoors, Tampa Bay has had 4 postponements, all because of the disruption caused by hurricanes. Finally, for the least chance of a weather postponement, head to California. Just a handful in the Bay Area in the last 10 years, only 1 each for the Dodgers and the Padres, and both of those were in April. Now, this year, Major League Baseball will play right into early November, unless the World Series is a sweep. If there's a Game 7, it would be likely on November 4th, and that's assuming no weather-related delays. Fred is back with the extended forecast next.